Welcome to Hockey That Podcast, episode 131, Hilarity Ensues. I'm your host, Bill D. I'm here, of course, with my three co-hosts, Short Guy, Schwim, Little Steve, and Schwim is already in rare form, by the way. You can find us on.
I'm annoyed at a 1-0 lead.
Radio, courtesy of
I
Sam
would be
Blue,
annoyed
on
at 1-0
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Please leave us a 5-star review if you'd be so kind. You can already see a lot of us have different setups. Shorts Guy's on a couch.
yeah.
I have turned my desk so I can see the TV and see how many times they're going to give Jack Hughes a breakaway. Steve is going to be the only one focused on this podcast, most likely the entire time.
Still in the kitchen. Yep, pretty much.
Still
in the kitchen.
Steve
I do
is
have
still
a bag of
showing
popcorn,
off.
though.
He does.
I have popcorn this
you
time.
should.
You should.
Yeah.
By the way,
Beautiful.
can we note that even though I have a new location, I still have a pretty awesome looking background because I just moved it.
Yeah, that's great. I don't really give a shit.
I'm still really good with the background.
Well done.
I'm
proud of you.
I have
Thank
the
you,
wall wall of trophies over here. I have the rock steady
Not
bus.
won by the Rangers.
Not
show your
not
shirt,
won by
Steven.
the Rangers.
I have a tooth by a great white shark. I have a tooth by a mastodon. Megalodon. God darn it. I have a Hulk bust.
Mastodon.
I have the Rangers. The Mastodon, yeah. Mastodon. I have a Henrik Lundqvist beautiful helmet. And then somewhere over there is a lot of Babe Ruth baseballs. So I also got my fighting New York Rangers glove. I like it. Put a beer in this bad boy.
Let's start fighting right now, Dean.
I left for a little bit.
I'm absolutely going to drop this thing at some point in the show.
That's fine. That's fine.
Boys, what are we drinking? Because actually, I'll lead first. I found this bad boy in the fridge. I forgot it. Dragons and Yum Yums, a staple. Very good. Dogfish.
Where'd you find that? In the back of the fridge?
It was in the top on the rack. I forgot about the rack.
Marty's jealous. Marty Lynn.
Yeah, Marty Lynn is jealous.
It's not a Modelo. I think you're all right.
Yeah, that's true. So I am drinking a Wildwood Haze that I just picked up this weekend. I know Schwim's very much a big fan of this beer. This beer was actually canned just over 10 days ago on the 12th of April. So opening up a good fresh
we should just
Wildwood
preface
Haze.
this. This episode could have swearing. It could have just shouting.
Earmuffs.
Volumes down.
Yeah.
I apologize. We apologize.
I'm probably going to go at some point because I don't want to listen to.
Here we go.
I'm going to try to
start
keep
a
this on
period
the
2,
rails.
baby. Here we go.
Rangers Devils. Rangers up 1-0. Devils have a power play for 4 seconds.
Did you just say the Rangers were up 1-0?
You just said the Rangers up 1-0.
You just said the Rangers
sorry,
were
Devils
up
up
1-0.
1-0. I was sorry.
Yeah,
My
you're damn right.
goodness gracious.
Wow.
Yes, this is going to be
we're
fun.
off the rails already. Here we go.
Anyways, so yeah, 1-0 Devils. They give Jack Hughes power plays out the yin yang. Jack Hughes breakaways at the yin yang, and he scores. So what do you figure? Listen, let's get to what's on tap for today's episode. I'll try to keep this on the rails. Here's our weekly snapshot. What a week! Oh, did you finish your beers? Did everyone finish their beers?
No,
I don't have a beer.
Go ahead. I said
Go.
I got the Wild Haze, Steven. What do you got?
I took myself a trip, for those who care, down to Dogfish Head this weekend, and I found myself a romantic chemistry.
Ooh.
Nice.
I love that.
What you
That's a
have
nice
here-
can.
Yeah, and what you have here, thank you. It is a nice can. I agree with you.
You do have a nice
I don't know if everybody agrees.
You have a sweet can.
I was going to read the description, but whatever.
Let's not read it.
Somebody else go.
Show me what's red on your can. Read your can.
What you have here is a serious India Pale Ale shacking up and hunkering down with mangoes and apricots at the same time.
Cans shacking.
My beautiful cans.
Shacking up.
My antique cans.
This is going to be such a bad episode. I apologize.
Yeah.
We thought it would be fun
it.
to have to basically have like a watch party because and Shorts Guy discussed this on the Let's Go Devils podcast yesterday. Sitting with Schwim for a game when he's at the Rangers, when he's at MSG, for the Rangers Tampa game. He's not nearly as bad as he was on Saturday night.
Oh, he was miserable.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
It's a sight to watch. I mean, Steven's seen it.
Oh, it is.
Me and Shorts Guy saw that for the first time. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful thing to watch Swim watch his team play a Stanley Cup final playoff game.
Oh,
it is fantastic.
I loved it.
I couldn't get out of your house fast enough.
You could not.
Oh, you really
I think you said bye. You left your beer, threw your stuff in the trash can, and just
I forgot everything.
I was like,
I forgot everything.
I was like, see, Shrimp. Oh man, that was funny. But yeah, all right. So, Shrim, what did you have to drink? Did we even go that far?
I don't have one right now. I gotta get one.
We were talking about Steven's cans, and I kind of just lost it for there.
Romantic chemistry.
The romantic chemistry is really good. I mean, they do such a good job at Dogfish with the mango and stuff. Is that a brew exclusive, or are they going to put that out now?
They re-released it, so that was released on April 1st. They had just a handful of 4-packs left.
Have you seen it up here or no?
No, it was just exclusively sold at the brew pub.
Oh, okay. Damn. Yeah, that's one of their better beers, I think.
It's very good. I also did have myself probably a little too much Utopia's barrel-aged 120.
That's all right. When in Dogfish.
I mean, I guess too much is subjective, right? So.
Yeah. Too much.
Somebody's volume was too loud.
Yeah, seriously.
Who, me?
Is it mine?
I don't know. Someone's. Might be yours. It's got to be yours because we're in gameplay and you've got to be in a commercial. When you're in Delaware. When you're in Delaware, you just wind up drinking way too much Dogfish Head whenever you go. It's just kind of what happens.
Well,
even
a nice thing.
Even when we were down there, for the race, we drank a little bit too much than we should have the night before a race.
That's true.
Yeah,
although we certainly could have drank more.
I also had way too many Dogfish pretzels.
No, you didn't.
Dogfish
You're
pretzels?
right, I didn't, because they're terrible.
Best pretzels around.
All right, so excuse me. What a weekend we just had of hockey. And here are the topics I wanted to kind of go on. Ref manipulation, which was a very funny quote by Sheldon Keefe.
Oh, so that was
stupid. Very, very
the dumbest thing one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Jack to the rescue, and not Jack Hughes. Jack Campbell came out of nowhere to save Edmonton's bacon. So Edmonton tying up the.
No, I don't think it was him per se. You talking about yesterday?
Yeah, but he made some pretty.
I think it was just. I think it was just the change in goaltending, and you see it so often. It doesn't even matter who ends up going in the second half, but the change in goaltending has a spark. And especially 3-0 leads that early in a game. Doesn't matter who's playing. They're never safe.
No.
It is wild that teams can go up by these large margins now. It used to be 2-0, and I know I said it's the worst league in hockey, but it used to be go up 2-0 and pretty much guaranteed a win at that point. And now it's who knows.
I always hated that. It's the worst lead in hockey thing. 3 goals is the worst lead. How about 1 goal is the worst lead in hockey? 1 goal and it's done. It's tied. It's just the most ridiculous comment.
That's those multi-goal leads makes you a little bit more relaxed and playing on your heels,
you
tend to drop back and play safer, and then you just end up. You see it. I mean, so many of these teams they go up, 2-0, 3-0, whatever, and then they just all that fire that they had going just goes away. Sometimes they get it back if they end up losing the lead, but.
So we had that. We had the Toronto-Tampa Bay bloodbath, which we'll get into that in a minute. Olmark versus Tkachuk, which I wish they had let that go. 3 straight overtimes on Saturday, with great hockey being played between those 2 teams, and even the 4th game was pretty good too. Ridiculous penalties, and then tons of injuries. We'll do the matchups, and we'll go by that, and we'll just talk about the games because I've pretty much watched every game, or at least tried to watch every game. There we go. The Shrimp Cam.
That's one. Who's got the count? Who's got the shoot count?
That's one.
Killorn, you absolutely suck. You score a goal, and then you're wide open in front of the net, and he plays with it, and nothing happens.
This is it, boys.
This is it.
Welcome to the show.
This was Saturday. This was fantastic. This was so fantastic. And you know what? I was really expecting Schwim to just punch a child on Saturday.
It would have been it would have been my niece or nephew, and that would have not been very funny, but it would have been kind of funny.
You're probably your niece more
they
so.
Enjoyed blocking the TV.
Your niece just happened to get in his way.
King of that.
Oh, he was.
Both of them were pretty bad. It was fun.
Matthew was really trying hard to bother me, but I was like, yeah, just go away, kid.
Matthew Jr. goes, Schwim, the Bolts are winning. Yeah, Matt, it's even worse when they're winning. All right, so let's go to start. Vegas Golden Knights, Winnipeg Jets. We'll start in the Pacific. Right now, it's tied. Jets are down 2-1 in the series. Golden Knights with the 5-4 second overtime win. They play tonight. They're the late game, 9:30. I had a couple notes for this one, and I wanted to see what you get your guys' opinions. Injuries, obviously. Josh Morrissey out the rest of the series with a lower body injury. He was hurt by. He kind of got tangled in with White Cloud and ended up getting injured. He also got hit by a puck at the same time. Nick Ehlers still out after the Hartman interference hit.
Power play, baby.
Yeah, the power play. I saw it. So that's kind of been the negative for the Jets. They have so much talent, but they can't get it going because they keep getting injured. Dylan Sandberg with the turnover that leads to that overtime goal in Game 3, which was rough. You feel bad for a rookie to put that on him. Did you guys see this? Vegas had
hit the net.
Their first home game, Game 1.
Stick there.
They had one pedal.
Somebody shoot!
Stationary bikes. I had. Mute them.
And yes, I'm wearing a onesie.
This is fantastic.
They only had one pedal on the stationary bikes ahead of Game 1. Did you guys see this? That they messed with the stationary bikes for the Winnipeg Jets. Anyways, some craftsmanship, some gamesmanship for Vegas. I guess just thoughts on the series. I see that Jack Eichel's heating up a little bit. He's got what was the stats for him? Give me a second. It was. He's doing good for his first playoff. Yeah, 3 goals. He's got 4 points total. Pietrangelo leads that team with 4 assists. Brossoit's been okay for them. Not very good, but not
that's
terrible.
what I would say. Just okay.
Yeah.
On the other side, Neil Pionk's kind of stepping up. He's got 5 assists for the Morrissey injury. And then Hellebuck, save percentage is okay, but he's, held a minute. Thoughts?
It's tough. It's Vegas is the better team. And when I think I said Vegas in 5. But Winnipeg's, they got some fight in them, but I think this series is kind of shown to go the way that it's meant to go. And Vegas is definitely a team that can come out of the West. Winnipeg very much isn't. So.
Oh, get there!
Good save.
What time does that game start tonight? Is that a 9:30 start?
9:30. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch it because that one's in Winnipeg tonight. I want to watch I want to turn on the start of that game just to see the white out there. And Winnipeg, I don't know if there's off a deflection in the shoulder. Oh crap!
Did Palat actually touch that?
How many times
can
this puck bounce?
Hank's shoulder.
I don't know. No, that Hank. This is Shesterkin. Come on.
What?
It was you said Hank.
What? Well, I didn't say Hank, did I? I said Palat.
Yeah, you said Hank's shoulder. No. You went off Palat and then Hank's shoulder. Anyway, no, it deflected off one of your players, and then it hit Shesterkin in the shoulder, bounced off him, bounced off one of your other players into Shesterkin's glove. Oh, that's how you're going to beat Shesterkin with these deflections. I'm excited to see. Let me go back to what I was trying to say about Winnipeg before I was interrupted. I want to see the party out on the street because I don't think any team does a party outside in the street better than Winnipeg.
They're good.
Playoff games.
Yeah,
they're really good, and it's something that I'm really hoping that the Devils, should we get by the Rangers, I'm hoping that it's something the Devils start to do there on this and play.
Go hang out on the streets of Newark.
Hey, I'll be out there on our stage on the big stage outside of American Whiskey with Sam and whoever we have as a special guest that day. So, suck it, Dean.
Out with Sam and a bunch of guests and a couple hobos on the corner.
I don't see any I don't see any big stages outside of MSG.
Oh God!
I just see.
They flooded 7th Avenue. They flooded 7th Avenue. You couldn't even drive a car down it.
This is not good.
Well, and Godzilla made a nest out of your arena too. Not even a good Godzilla. I would. Shin Godzilla would have been better.
Outside of Shin Godzilla. Outside of Shin, yeah.
Shin Godzilla would have been better than 98 Godzilla.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next series.
Good first period.
This is going to be the best podcast ever.
These guys are leaving at the garden over here.
I'm literally like,
all right, now,
I'm ready
now
to
I can
leave.
look at you guys.
All right,
just enjoy it, Steven.
Just
enjoy the ride.
Second series, Oilers Kings.
I don't know if I can.
Anyone like the face paint from Will Ferrell, LA Kings? He's really hamming it up. It's fantastic. Kings obviously slowing the game down for the Oilers. Draisaitl though has been, Draisaitl's been very good. He's got 9 points, I think. Yeah, 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points. Evan Bouchard leads defenseman, 5 points. Jack Campbell, like we said, came in relief, 964 save percentage. On the other side, you had Andrei Kopitar, 6 points. He's looked really good as well. That power play goal, I thought would be the game winner, but ended up being an Oiler win. Evander Kane ties it up, puts it 4-4 in the third yesterday, and then in overtime, Zach Hyman comes down and lights the lamp. This series, it's a tale of like two, right? It's the Kings try to slow down the game so much in this series, and it's smart because the speed of the Oilers is significant when you look at this. And they haven't really gotten, Connor McDavid going. Edmonton, that is, haven't really gotten Connor McDavid going. And it's been, for the most part, a Leon Draisaitl show for Edmonton, and then on the other side, Kings. Did you guys see the hit that defenseman Darnell Nurse put on Arvidsson, where he barely even touches him, if he doesn't even touch him, and then Arvidsson like flips over. He tried to draw a penalty, like he got interfered with. I'll send it to you guys. It's hysterical. Arvidsson doesn't get hit and just like rockets himself in the air. It's extremely good watch. I'll send you guys a clip. But thoughts on this series, tied 2-2, going back to Edmonton, Game 5 on Tuesday. You guys, I know
Go Kings,
Steve,
go.
you took the Kings. Yeah, I say Steve took the Kings.
Steven took the Kings. Yeah, I was checking those. I think I have them here in my bag. I was checking all that earlier. Steven had the Kings.
Were you the only one?
The Oilers.
Just like the Kings.
Steven.
I think the rest of us took Oilers.
The only one with the Kings. If I can find those.
The Kings blew it. They should be up 3-1.
They did blow it.
Yeah,
the Kings should be up. And you guys were
even
all
that late
about
lead
that
they
last
had,
night.
they shouldn't have given up. That fourth tying goal was weak. It was a good shot. I mean, it was just the play was weak.
Here we go. I got it.
Speaking of weak tying goals, the friggin' Game 3, that tying goal with a minute left. Who scored that? O'Reilly in front of the net.
Oh yeah,
Tampa game
with a minute. Yeah.
Holy hell, that was terrible. Oh my God, that was so bad.
Yeah, Steven, you picked the Kings in 6. Sammy picked the Kings. I'm sorry, Steven, you picked the Kings in 7. Sammy picked the Kings in 6, and the rest of us picked the Oilers.
Ooh.
And
I think Woo did shockers.
Great
on
minds
every pick.
think alike.
Yeah, he did. But I did some shockers too. A couple of them. Dean, you and I both picked.
Yeah, Oilers 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah.
I did a little reverse psychology.
I did Oilers
one of my other
7.
One of my other picks was reverse psychology.
Why did I pick the frickin' Knights over Winnipeg? That was stupid. I thought I picked
because they're going to beat Winnipeg.
I picked. What did I pick? I picked the Knights in 5. That's not happening.
No, not happening.
Yeah, it
All
certainly
right,
can.
go.
The Knights in 5. They're up
still good.
2-1, right?
I don't think it's.
Oh, it's up 2-1. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't think it'll. I don't think it'll be 5. It could, but I don't expect it to.
I think it should.
Rebounds.
It should be 5.
He can, but they seem to be controlled big rebounds. I'll tell you what. I have all the confidence in the world in Schmid. Hey, you know what? He has more NHL saves than you or I combined.
It's true. He's looked good, and I love his first name. Akira.
All four of us.
Akira?
Asa Akira.
It's a great name.
Look her up. Or don't.
Everyone, don't look her up. Unless on a work computer, at least, don't look her up. All right, next series. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Avalanche Kraken. Nathan MacKinnon called the Kraken his hardest first-round foe that he's played against. This after he blitzkrieged St. Louis last year. And then the year before that, Arizona Coyotes. And then the year before that, the upset of the Calgary Hurricanes. Calgary Flames. So not exactly a world beater of first-round matchups. But
go!
Nice things to say.
What do you just shoot it?
This is going to be.
The hell?
Oh boy!
This is exactly what we expected. This is what we expected. You know that.
Who was that? Was that Siegenthaler?
I don't know who it was. Just heave it on
game
net.
3.
Just heave it on net.
Game 3 in Colorado, Seattle. Seattle takes the early lead, but Colorado's horses just came in. Riddle me this: is Nathan MacKinnon the most explosive player in the NHL, meaning that I feel like he could take over a shift and a game more than any other player in the league. I know that Connor McDavid does it, and it's otherworldly, but McKinnon's like a rhino when he has the puck on his stick. He is balls to the wall, a force of nature. I just think that he might be like the most dangerous when he chooses to be. Does that make sense?
It's like he's like a video game character that builds up boost or something. But I know exactly what you're talking about. It's close. I mean, McDavid and MacKinnon are I think
it's still McDavid.
It's definitely close, but yeah, MacKinnon is it's random. Well, McDavid, I feel like McDavid is a little more constant, but not that MacKinnon is ever bad, but just all of a sudden one shift you'll see MacKinnon just. I think explosive is a good adjective. He just it's like gets shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
And the puck just is glued to his stick.
Their horses have kind of taken over. You've seen Kilmakar do it. You've seen MacKinnon do it. You've seen Rantanen do it. And really, they're leading by talent. Nishushkin's away on a personal matter. Not really sure what's going on with him,
and experience. I think the experience is helping him here.
Yeah, Seattle. They played well.
Sneaky team, and I think Seattle has played well, and they played well all season for the most part. And I think Colorado, between their skill also, but also the experience of being able to hang in there and come back and battle back and whatever is paying dividends.
One thing, and Rantanen with 3 goals, he leads the team. Arturi Lehkonen has 3 assists. He's tied with a couple other players. Rantanen has 4 points. Alexander Georgiev, I feel like he has not played well enough for this team to go much further than Seattle. I feel like next round, if he plays the way he's playing, they're in for a world of hurt because I also said that about Kemper. Yeah, we did say that Kemper
last year. Although it's not the same stacked team, but
yeah, Justin Schultz has played pretty well. I guess there's a bunch of football players.
Look at those bros.
I think they're the New York Mets.
MSG is never short on bros.
Fat.
What about the Mets?
They're at the Ranger game.
Yeah, at least you didn't have Baker Mayfield showing off his Tampa jersey and cheering the damn team on today.
Right? Yeah, that Tampa Bay Buccaneer, right?
I saw that and I was just like, oh God, yeah. Newly acquired
quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
He's calling me.
I love it. All right. Last matchup in the West, Stars Wild. I think we started off. We were watching Dallas game 1 when he podcast last Monday. Pavelski out since game 1 following the late hit from Matt Dumba, which you guys tell me. I think we've talked about. I thought it was a penalty. It was very late. He should have been suspended. Not that the point of contact was his head, but it's just he came out of nowhere. Pavelski wasn't even looking at him. I feel like that's a cheap shot. Eric Zanek also missed most of game 3 and 4 with an injury. You guys agree? Pavelski, what were your thoughts on that hit?
I agree exactly with what you said. I think it's a penalty and it's suspension worthy, and I don't think that the fact that whether or not the head is the I know the rules say whatever, but I think if you hit somebody illegally and cause injury, I think no matter what, it's up for suspension debate, and I think I said it when it happened, is a massive blow for Dallas. The series is pretty closer than I thought it would be. There's that cliche again, but
stop clicheing, Steven.
I still think Dallas is going to take it. But yeah, I mean, they need Pavelski back if they're going to go anywhere.
And Minnesota finally goes with the hot hand and goal, Shorts guy. They good Gustafsson game 1, who has the franchise record for saves. We obviously argued
was the hot hand.
No,
I would love to.
So we obviously argued that Gustafsson versus Fleury game 1, who you would have started. They start Gustafsson. He has 52 saves. He has the franchise record. He was awesome. Then game 2, because they've done this all year, they went back to another goalie who, Fleury had a bad game. The team also played not great behind him. But
in front of him,
just the back and forth of goaltenders. Game 3, they go back to Gustafsson. He gets a win, 5-1. They lose 3-2 yesterday on Sunday. 2-2 with the series. Minnesota's played well enough to, keep it tied. Their goalies played well. Ottinger is extremely good goaltender, and their offense, Rupe Hintz with the hat trick. And, you look at the guys on this team, Rupe has 4 goals, Heiskanen has 5 assists, Rupe has 8 points total. On the other side, Hartman's got 5 points, 2 goals. Gustav Nyquist has been pretty decent since coming over from Columbus. Yeah, I just think that the Stars have the firepower still, and Pavelski sounds like he's maybe out at least next game, but, they're hoping to come back for game 6. You got to like the Stars in this team. They are feisty, and Wyatt Johnson has looked really good too. And he's a guy that they say he could win a Selke. He's that good of a defensive forward, but he's got some snipes, some hands. I like the Stars, man. I really do.
We were saying before, I really liked the offseason acquisition of Mason Marchment. His contract might not have been the best, but I think that was a fantastic signing for a depth piece. And Schwim said it when we were going over the series. I think they are the most complete team in the playoffs right now. I think in the entire playoffs.
West. Oh, Bruins?
I think they're more complete than the Bruins. I think the Bruins. I think the Bruins are have a better system. Okay. Who's Dallas? Pete DeBoer, right? He's over there. I'm not a big fan. I am a huge fan of former Dallas Stars coach Jim Montgomery.
Yeah.
He was doing wonders with that team when he was there. It was unfortunate, the personal circumstances that he was going through. I'm glad he found a way back. I wished it wasn't with Boston. You lose a A-plus coach in Bruce Cassidy, right? And you go right to Jim Montgomery, who could even be better. So that's why I do think Dallas's roster is more complete, I believe. But I think the Bruins have a better system.
Shorts?
It's what that series 2-2 now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 2-2. So I'm assuming they'll probably go back to Gustafsson since it was a close game in the last game yesterday.
You ride them now.
You have to.
It's literally never worked. This whole goalie swap thing in the playoffs has never worked. I don't know how. Every year somebody tries it, and every year it's terrible. Unless it's performance based. Performance based is different, but a rotation is just goalies want to play.
Yes, we do.
What team was it last year that used 3 goalies in the playoffs? They used 3 goalies in one series.
We were just talking about that. I think we're talking with Florida, and that was like 2 years ago or something. Yeah.
I was just really hoping for a really good series out of Fleury. Oh,
yikes!
God.
Yeah, I was hoping Fleury started the series. I think
I was hoping he was going to do very, very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, to earn it.
Yeah, I was too.
And
I don't think putting him in game 2 did Fleury any justice.
No. it didn't help him at all. No. He comes off of a performance where Gustafsson had 52 saves. A, the fans are already outraged that he's in the game, and B,
Gustafsson should have gotten game 2.
The team has played well behind him, so they have to readjust to a new goaltender. And there is
and it's not even that they had such a big emotional win in game 1. Yeah. You knew that was going to come. The game 2 was going to be totally different because they weren't going to maintain game 1's energy, and Dallas was going to come back, full steam ahead. So it was just I don't know. It was a bizarre situation, and I think it did more harm than good for anything. And they lost.
I wonder,
deservedly so.
I wonder how Gustafsson felt coming off. He has 52 saves, gets them a huge win, and then he's benched basically for game 2. Like
you gotta be
like, wait,
annoyed.
I would be.
You gotta be annoyed.
Like not only pissed, I'd be annoyed. I'd be like questioning not only the coaching staff, maybe even myself. What did I do wrong here? I thought I had a pretty good game. It's I don't know. It just made no sense, and it didn't work. But like say Fleury, he puts Fleury in game 2. And Fleury has an awesome game, and they win the game. Then I guess he looks like a genius. I don't know. And then does he go back to Gustafsson? Does he stick with Fleury?
They have to.
They're going to do that. They're going to do the rotation. That's what I assume.
A very strange move that definitely, obviously didn't work out, and we didn't think it would work out.
I don't even like that's strange because it's not like this hasn't happened before. Just it never works. Never. It never works. But here we are again. Another year. Another
after a win,
attempt at a goalie rotation. Yeah, after a win, it's happened. These teams have tried to rotate, have the same sort of 1A, 1B rotation because they think this is how we've been winning all season, so let's keep doing it in the playoffs, and that's just not how it works.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I saw that. I've seen obviously a guy be yanked after a game 1 loss, but not after a freaking game 1 win. It's crazy.
Bottom line is this. Bottom line is this. As far as the series is concerned, you all are out for picking the winner of the series as far as game number. The 3 of you picked the Stars in 5.
Number,
I'm still alive with the Wild in 6. So boom.
Yeah.
Until Dallas wins tomorrow.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Let's go to the East. And quickly, with the Wild needs something from Kaprizov and Boldy, or else they're not going to make it out of this series. You have to have your two studs, producing points, and they haven't done that. Okay,
I give Dallas
Bruins,
credit.
Panthers.
Dallas has played them well. So
absolutely, yeah. Boston leading 3-1. What happened in Game 4? Boston, throttles them 6-2, and you see, Tkachuk and Bertuzzi and everyone's kind of beating it out. Tkachuk then slash. I guess he got fine for the cross check. Yeah, I know. He gets the cross checking fine, and then I don't really know what was said between him and Ullmark, but Ullmark basically wanted to fight him, and they should have let it happen. It would have been fun. Taylor Hall leads the Bruins with 4 goals.
I was waiting for Bob to come skating down. Yeah, I was hoping for that.
Funny.
I was like, all right, here comes Bob. Bob's got to come. And Bob stayed at home.
Bob's making $10.5 million. He don't care.
Yeah, he's not doing
exactly.
Anything. Hall leading in goals and in points, 4 and 7. Swayman with 1,000% save percentage. Lyon in the first 2 games was okay. Third game, you kind of see him bad. He was real bad, and then they made the switch to Bobrovsky. Tkachuk leads with 5 points. He leads in goals and assists. You think it's over in 5, or do you think they maybe salvage one more game?
It should be over. It should be over in 5. But yeah, I mean, they can. I mean, you never know what could happen in these series, but the series I can't imagine there's a chance that Florida comes back to win this.
Yeah.
So, no, regardless of how many games it goes, it should. Boston is disciplined enough, that they have the leadership experience and coaching to clean out this series.
They should.
They already have one loss where they probably shouldn't have lost.
Because they'll be home for the next one. So.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to lose that.
Shrim,
no
anything on Boston?
No, they're going to steamroll because I'm assuming do we hear anything about are they going back to Lions for the game? What is it, game 5?
Not said.
Or are they sticking with Bob? I think they go back to him, and then I think it'll be a closer game than the last game, but I think Boston ends it tomorrow night. Florida's outmatched. There's no way.
Yeah. They're in trouble.
They're completely outmatched.
I could see. I don't know. I'm thinking this, but could you guys see could Chuck starting just a massive mess of a fight?
Yeah,
if the Panthers are losing
he almost did it last game.
He could. He's gonna go out.
All right.
With a brawl.
I don't mind. He's gonna go out swinging. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think that would be great. I just love that.
It'd be entertaining.
That entertaining.
Hopefully, there's
fighting.
nothing dirty.
It's great.
I don't see anything dirty take out any players as much as I don't want Boston to win, but and Boston has some pretty dislikable players on that roster as well.
On their side too.
So speaking of number one,
Chuck versus the Rat would be great.
I was just gonna say, so Marchand, and I heard this on Elliot Friedman's podcast. He had Marchand came out and was basically saying, because I guess Kachuk had some comments that were picked up on the mic by it's not Ray Ferraro, whoever it was that was in between the benches. And Marchand basically said, I don't really care what was said. He was more on the point of there should be no mics down at rink level because these guys go all out, balls to the wall, emotions get tied into it. If you say something, it's not meant to be out there for the public. It's meant to be, between two guys that are really going at it, and you can say some stuff about, family members or whatever they said. I don't know exactly what was said, but the point is that he thinks, and other players are thinking, that these guys behind, that are in between the benches shouldn't have hot mics the entire time. It should only be when they have a in-between period or something.
Jesus Christ, Kucherov.
A brawl going on.
When the players are mic'd up, when the players are mic'd up, though, they have the network has every opportunity to, they select what they broadcast. But like the reporter stuff that picks up, that picks up stuff live or whatever. I think, I don't disagree.
So I just know that
I don't
that was
disagree.
A big contention.
Jesus Christ.
I don't disagree, but I also think that if anything's caught on the mic, to me, it's just we've all. There's another acting job.
Come on, he just went right into him. Get out of here.
Acting job.
Now I thought you guys are dirty. Timo Meyer's dirty.
But we've all been on the bench before. We all know what gets said back and forth. It's not good.
Oh yeah.
It's the non-hockey playing public that would hear something like that, be like, "Oh my gosh," and flip out. It's like we've all been to rinks and we've seen benches. We've all seen benches that are way too close, and we know teams that we've played, and we're like, "Yeah, this would never work for us at our rink." It's just it's what goes on down there, and he's got a point. Like the public shouldn't hear it. Personally, I would love to hear it because I love that banter between between players. I think it's great.
I just don't know how you can't, because there's just there's so many microphones to pick up the sound of the game.
Everything.
So it's like I don't know how you can eliminate all of that.
You can't. It's tough.
And then the other thing that was discussed quickly was Jeff Merrick made the point that everyone's very irate about the refs. The refs in the NHL suck the most. Basketball, everybody's refs suck the most, right? But they were saying that he was in a men's pickup game, and he was the ref was like, "What do you want me to do about this?" He goes, and Jeff Merrick goes, "I want you to make a call," and he goes, "If you played a little better, I wouldn't have to make the dumb calls," meaning like, you get what you're kind of sowing here, and, essentially reiterating that, if these players didn't suck at this level, he wouldn't have to make bad calls. Same thing with, NHL, these guys make mistakes, and, unfortunately they make mistakes just like the players do. But yeah, it's been pretty bad this series, or not this series, but just this playoff round.
Overall.
As a whole, it's maybe they've been a little too whistle crazy in these playoffs. There's been a lot of power plays, but officiating has been an issue for years now. And, I don't know if so much of it has to do with, I mean, you talk about football refs too, right? And it's just the fact that there's replay, but I don't know if it's that, replay lets them fix their own mistakes, or it's just that we have so much access to so many angles. There's so many more cameras, and we get all your replays and all this other stuff, so we can see them under such a microscope. But hockey, I mean, most of us have reffed. Hockey's very fast. It's a difficult sport to officiate, but I mean, some of it is
it's definitely the
nonsense.
hardest sport.
And I think my problem is when stuff does end up getting reviewed and they still get it wrong. That's an issue with me. Yep, but it doesn't seem like it's one-sided one way or another. It's universally terrible, basically across all platforms, and I can't really say why.
End of period 2, Rangers still down 1-0.
Come on,
eventful
damn
period,
right.
but not really
Big.
Nothing huge in terms of.
There it is.
It's been the last.
Fucking hell! So.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but this Leafs team fucking sucks. They just throw something in and it deflects off 9 people and goes in.
I gotta turn this game on now.
No, Shrum, you know what really sucks? The New York Jets. But that'll be saved for Thursday's show when Bill Dean goes off on his team once again. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I see the worst goddamn trade.
Turn the damn puck right on the net.
Stupid trade.
Freaking idiot.
You're gonna make me unhappy.
Oh yeah, that is pretty bad.
Hurricanes, Islanders.
Terrible turnover.
Hurricanes. Carolina out for the rest of the series with a broken wrist. Pajot slashed. He's dirty. Barzal returns.
It's going to be tied in no time.
Mayfield bitched and complained about a missed call and costly penalties by the Islanders. Horvat's terrible. He should have got a monster contract for nothing. Power play for the Canes is a big positive, and yeah, that series is done.
This is my little active reverse psychology because I literally pick every team that plays the Islanders to beat them, and I'm wrong every time. This is the first time I picked the Islanders, and they are currently losing, and I'm not upset about it.
Yeah, not upset.
I'll take a wrong pick for that result.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Burns and Aho both tied 5 points. Power plays worked really well for them.
I'll get one.
They look
points.
Solid. They don't look like a force. They look solid.
That's in. That's a goal. Oh, my God. Oh, there's 9 people in the freaking crease.
Wow. Oh, they called it off. They called. What in the world is this?
I don't think it ever went in.
All right, Trim. Toronto, Tampa.
Sit down.
We don't need
crotch. No crotch shots. Let's go.
Me and my one.
I could reach out and punch you. Hedman back in the Game 3 loss. Chernak still out with upper body injury. Lightning coach John Cooper scoffs at his ref manipulation claim, which was very good. Stamkos versus Matthews, first fight ever between 2 60-goal scorers.
Oh, man.
And Matthews,
the friggin'
first ever
took
fight.
It off the line.
Oh, what a save.
Yeah.
Dubas in Tampa yelling at Tampa Bay fans. The bunting suspension after the hit to Chernak. Matthew Nyes has played pretty well in his absence. And then Ryan O'Reilly with a big series for Toronto.
Yes, he did.
What, Schwim? Go off, high horse.
What? I don't know. I'm in the game here. Actually, I wanted to talk about what did you think about that hit at the end of the game, the Riley hit on Braden Point?
I couldn't really. I watched it under with beer goggles on, so I wasn't 100% sure, but I couldn't really tell. It looked like it was like an even play in a bad situation, and
situation.
It was dangerous, but it also I don't know if it was necessarily meant. Obviously, you can't predict intent, right? But the result was horrible. No, it was a dangerous area and a prone point. Is he playing?
Oh, yeah, he's playing.
Wait, is he playing?
He came back.
He's playing.
He came back in that game.
Back later that period.
Oh, I didn't even. I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, he came back that game.
I started to miss things as the night went on in those games. Yeah, things got fuzzy.
The one thing I was also questioning was they called a major on the ice. They called a 5-minute major, and then they reviewed it, and it went down to nothing. I thought the rule is they can only reduce it down to a minor, not nothing.
No, so the rule is
they can get rid of it completely.
Yes, you can. If you upon review on a 5-minute, you can reduce it, and that's actually kind of a good thing that they can review.
Thought it can only be reduced to a 2.
Well, to nothing or to 2 point. Yeah, apparently you can do it to nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Marner 8 points in the series.
I don't know about that. The friendly fire high stick thing. I honestly didn't know that was the rule. I thought a penalty, but I also didn't see that. I just saw that there was a whole bunch of stuff that happened surrounding that. I was wondering how Toronto ended up with the power play afterwards, but I didn't see. Like, I had no sound. So I couldn't see what was happening.
On that one,
Schwim did call that. Schwim called that. Schwim called that Toronto was going to come out of all of that.
With the power play.
That Toronto was going to end up with.
Yeah, I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was the thing, but.
Well, because Kucherov was instigator in that one, so they gave him 2 minutes, then plus the fight, and whether or not Stamkos and they're manipulating the whole thing that he said, but the fact that Stammer single-handedly kind of knew that they were going to get a penalty, and he brings their best power play guy into the box with him was kind of funny. The ref's right there. He's holding on to Stammer, and Stammer's just clobbing Matthews in the face the entire time. This was
Radish.
It was a good little show.
Radish got Riley pretty well.
Yeah,
he bloodied him pretty good.
And who would have thought?
Nice goal by him too.
Who would have thought that
was all around nice play? I was very surprised.
The Lightning leader in points, goals, and assists would be Corey Perry. 5.
Schwim's favorite player.
2 goals, 3 assists.
Schwim's favorite
5 points.
player.
Corey Perry.
I love him.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be on the team.
Can he pull it? Can he be the individual Buffalo Bills of hockey and make it to 4 straight Stanley Cup Finals and lose them all?
Wow, he very well could.
Great, wouldn't it?
He very well could.
Could you imagine?
But that would mean my Devils would not be in the finals. So let's make sure that doesn't happen.
I like that.
I know you do.
All right.
Two of you
Tavares had a Hattie
won't be in the final. Guaranteed.
Yeah, well,
yes.
Kind of how it works.
3 of us.
66.66%.
3 of us. 3 of us.
Could not be.
Or 4
of
us.
Could,
4 of us.
Yes,
all
possible.
4 of us.
All
2
4
of you
might not be in the final.
3 of us definitely. 3 of us definitely won't be in the Cup final. But there's a possibility of all 4 of us, but 3 of us for sure won't be in the Cup final.
All right, so that series, Toronto leads 2-1. Schwimm's guys are up 2-1 right now, right? 2-1.
And Schwim,
I can't wait to welcome one of you. I'm welcoming one of you with open arms after this first round because one of you is joining me.
Schwim, near Shorts guy, real soon. Yeah.
It could be 2 of us.
All right. Last but not least, just Debs. Series is up 2-1. Rangers with 2 decisive 5-1 victories in games 1 and 2.
Unfortunately,
they look really good. Game 3,
feeling out process.
Devils desperation becomes hot key, and they bring in a rookie goaltender. They totally just hang.
Get out of here.
They totally hang their stud goaltender out to dry. They didn't want to.
Stud goaltender.
Vanacek. They just basically hung out to dry. It was a very nice thing for them to do to their goaltender. But all right. In all seriousness, Schmid played. Schmiegel, whatever you want to call him. I don't give a crap. He's played very well.
Swanson.
It is pronounced Schmid, right?
Swanson, Samsonite. It is way off.
It is Schmid. It's been one of those names of the season where it's kind of changed.
I think it is. I think it's changed. It did change mid-season. He played last year too, right? He played a couple games. I think they were calling him Schmid last season. This season was Schmid.
Yeah,
somebody corrected somebody.
He was one of the bevy of goaltenders that played for the Devils, none of which were named Shorts guy, which is the biggest crime of last season.
Yeah.
And he did get a couple games, but his play this season.
Oh,
and
wow.
Billy Dean and I spoke about this on Saturday.
That could chuckle. Holy crud.
Schmid's play this season, Schmid has come in and been fantastic for the Devils every time that they put him in. he's gone into situations where the Devils have been down big, and he's been able to win them games from deficits that they should never have won from.
Oh my God!
So by putting him in,
why didn't you guys start him?
I go back to my previous statement. I don't think it matters who ends up going in. I think all that matters is you make the change.
Yeah, and the Devils had to make that change. So Vanacek towards the end of the season was looking tired, and he had a couple really awesome games, but he wasn't consistently awesome like he was during the season. Schmidt has been the backup that has really been better than Blackwood. So when Blackwood came back and they started giving him reps, Blackwood's gone after this season. Schmidt is, but I feel like the Devils have had this, litany of goaltenders that have come in. We've been excited, and then they kind of fizzle out. But Schmidt has been, well, I want to say that Schmidt is potentially different because Schmidt has come in a lot of times. Steven, you and I know this more than Steven and Dean. How hard it is to come off the bench.
Even the linesmen are getting on and being friggin' terrible. Holy shit. They call BS penalty on Victor Hedman right now. And then Tampa has the puck in their own zone. The Maple Leafs are offsides. Don't touch the puck, and they blow the play dead. It's just like, this is unbelievable.
Schwim. The shrimp cam.
Steven,
always eventful.
I gotta get mad at the linesman now. This is ridiculous.
We are trying to have a conversation here. We are trying to have a podcast. We're tempting.
Steven, you and I are the only ones on this podcast. You and I are the only ones on this podcast that know what it's like to be on the bench and to go into the middle of a game with no warm up.
Whoa.
We both
lacrosse goaltender.
Come on, killer. Oh, you fucking suck.
Continue.
Awesome.
Continue.
All right. Anyway, Schmidt has gone into situations where he's backs up the Devils to victories, going all the way, either victories in regulation, overtime, or shootouts. So Schmidt's got this acumen that just when you put him in, he's gonna do everything he needs to do to win the game. So when why
would you guys start him
good TV
to begin with?
Because Vanacek was signed as the guy, right? So you got to give him the opportunity to be the guy.
But then you hung him out.
He's been the guy all season. He's been the guy all season.
Yes,
he's been the guy all season.
I don't think it's yes.
Game 3, you hung out.
He's been the guy since he's signed. He was signed to be the guy, and he was the guy going into the playoffs. I think like I was trying to say that this has been a feeling out process for the Devils, and they got manhandled in games 1 and 2 as they're trying to find some sort of balance. Game
not
3 was game 3. No. Well, not necessarily his fault, but I do think that. I mean, you got 3 goaltenders, right? If you want to count Blackwood in the system, whatever you want to call it right now in the playoffs.
Yeah, he doesn't.
And Akira Schmidt is the one. He's the one that you should ride, based on
right now.
A lot of. Yes, right now, and I don't think he was ever going to be the guy that should have started in these playoffs. And unfortunately, it's an unfortunate casualty for Vanacek, who could potentially have been better. Vanacek could very well have done the same thing that Schmidt did in Game 3, just because the Devils are they're figuring out the system, figuring out the Rangers system more importantly, and how to counter it. And what you're seeing is Game 3 is exactly what you're seeing in Game 4. Which is exactly how we thought the series was going to pan out. Games 1 and 2 were just, an experienced Rangers team steamrolling a team that had, eyes wide open, shock of just being in this place that they'd never been in before. And unfortunately, Vanacek was a casualty. But Schmidt has come in and done the job, done what he did all season, and he's doing the job now. And you keep riding him until he can't. And luckily, you do have, Vanacek, who could potentially come in and do the same thing should it happen. But I think now you're seeing a series. This is exactly what the series was supposed to be, and I think you're going to see the rest of the games play out like this, low scoring. I don't know. We thought it was going to be, we saw these wide open game 1 and 2, and you'll be like, this is going to be exciting. It's going to be fast. There's going to be goals, but
game 1 and 2.
You don't want to do that. No team wants to go in the playoffs and have games like that. It never lasts. You can't just be wide open up and down and try to just outscore the other team. It's never going to work for you. So, they had to make adjustments, but I don't know. We'll see, especially what happens in this game too. If they Devils take 2 at MSG, the Rangers take 2 at Prudential. It's like, okay, who wants to win at home here? But
someone's got to win at home.
It's going
to be a home win. It's going to be.
I'd be worried if the Devils win game. If the Devils win game 2, I would be worried as a Rangers fan.
I'm not worried because they have one 5-on-5 goal, and they're all breakaways, by the way, because the Rangers just continually give breakaways. You guys haven't had sustained pressure in our zone. It's all been transition offense, which we all know.
Doesn't matter, though.
Steve and Schwim both know that, you win playing down low in the playoffs. That's how most of the goals are scored. I don't think it's sustainable to have rush offense be the way you win games. And they've literally had
I don't think it's sustainable.
1 on a power play.
I think it's sustainable for a series. We've seen series 1 like that. It's not sustainable for a playoff run. That's for damn sure, because eventually your luck runs out. I mean, look at this. We have a couple teams over the course. The Islanders are one who you look at. They in past years who got completely dominated in series and just somehow come out as the winner. And then finally, I think it was the Islanders just ran into Tampa, who ended up, their luck ran out, and it just didn't happen anymore because I think the Islanders got dominated by Pittsburgh, got dominated by, I think it was Boston, right? The next series, and then they got dominated by Tampa, and they finally lost. And so you just never know. A series can be won like this, and it's really frustrating to be on the opposite end of that. Based on my last 2 years, right, against the Islanders and the horrible goaltending, and against the Rangers and horrible goaltending. It's frustrating, but it can happen, and I'm warning you, Dean, that just because the Rangers might be dominating 5-on-5 play and chances doesn't mean anything if they're not going in.
Yep. So I think Dean's frozen, so that means we can talk about the Devils all we want.
He got so mad at me, he left.
Or he's just having a staring contest and didn't tell us.
He's in shock at my analytics.
Oh, he's
there.
There he is. There he is.
Shot me out of the page.
You mute yourself? Oh, there you go.
Did Sam take over the podcast again?
That's what I was going to say.
Muted his life.
Did Sam take over?
Man. I just listen. Obviously, Schmidt has their number right now, but I just think that the Rangers are going to get it going. They haven't really had many success on the power play other than their first 2 games, which they need to have. And we also don't have Panarin or Mika Zibanejad really doing much of anything. Kreider's league leader in goal right now in the playoffs, tied with Draisaitl.
Who's the one I saw? It was Panarin. They had that little. Panarin had that little.
Yeah, missed the net.
A little statistic about he has 12 breakaways and scored on 1 all season or something like that.
No, yeah, we've seen that. Yeah, it's not good.
It's weird.
Such a good player. I mean, they need to get some offense from the top guys. The third line, I feel like, is every time they're on the ice, they're controlling play. They've led to some pretty good goals. And Shesterkin right now leads the league in save percentage and goals against. Obviously, for a player that's played more than 1 game, but.
He's let in 1 goal in all 3 games, and throughout regulation, he's let in 1 goal, and now all 4 games. So that's yeah.
You can win with that. It's just they need to get going.
Periods,
they need to get
and
the
then 1 in overtime. Yeah, that's what it's frustrating. It's frustrating being on that end where you can control play and just have no success in the offensive zone. And well, I haven't had a goaltender in God knows how long, so. I can't relate to that, but
Shorts guy is available to play for Pittsburgh. Just so Pittsburgh knows.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not throw Shorts guy?
I'll let him know. Why not? Right? At this point, it's anybody's net.
At this
Shorts
point,
guy needs NHL minutes. Shorts guy needs to get some NHL minutes at some point, and then all of my exclusive interviews will be this and the Let's Go podcast. They'll be the only exclusive rights that I'll give interviews to.
All right, you guys got anything else? Closing thoughts before we get out of here?
I think we should just stream us. We should just keep streaming all the 3 of us watching the games.
I think we should. I think I should have access to a mute button, and I think Sam needs to do something about that.
That would be funny. All right, so close things. we'll be back. we'll be back next Monday. Hopefully,
if we don't kill each other,
Devils series will be done because that means the Rangers have won. Shrim, we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes with Shrim.
Power play.
Steven will enjoy the hilarity. And we will be doing a quickly show note. Football Primetime will be back for the draft show on Thursday. I don't know how I'm going to do this with the Rangers game and the football draft at the same time, but we'll see how this goes. And yeah, Jets, I hate you. You suck and you are miserable. You're a horrible franchise. You make a trade for a third. We'll get to this on Football Primetime.
Again, you've done this twice.
Dean's about to go.
You've now twice. Yeah, you've twice now acquired aging Green Bay quarterbacks.
No, I don't mind.
Shoot that!
I don't mind Aaron Rodgers.
Get out of the way, you
idiot! They have a second and a first. But, all right, so.
Just keep the stream going.
Dragons and Yum Yums.
Just keep the stream going
as usual. What are you guys giving your beers?
My romantic chemistry is 4.25. It is dynamite.
Nice.
I'm giving my Wildwood Haze 4.25.
Oh,
Love
serious.
it. I'm going to try to acquire a keg of it this week. I've been told they're canning and kegging this week, so I'm going to get one.
Sweet.
Like
I'm gonna rate all three of your beers 4.0 across the board.
Even the haze. Even the haze.
All
this
of them.
Is like one of your favorite beers, Shrim.
All right, I'll give the haze 4.25.
Yeah, baby.
We're gonna send out apologies. I send out a heartfelt apology to Cynthia because unfortunately Tampa will be winning this round, so you have one more series to deal with.
She's already mad. Don't make her more mad.
Reverse drinks for Schwim. All right, Shrimp, take her home.
Happy birthday to my sister Tracy. She's definitely not listening to this podcast, but it's her birthday tomorrow, so I wanted to wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Tracy.
Nice guy.
You're any of us.
Let's go Rangers.
No, you haven't